Shalom, shalom. I'm just checking the feed real quick. All right, we live. All right, shalom. Before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakak Badash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect. It's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. And shalom to the elect. I'm back with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit. The Rakak Badash, and I pray that this lesson is edifying to all those that are tuning in right now. The title of this show here is News and Prophecy. No peace in the Middle East, only destruction. All right. Get it straight, man. No peace in the Middle East, only destruction. All right. Because we are at the verge, as you all know, we are all at the verge of World War III, man. And these things must happen in order for righteousness to be established in the earth. Matter of fact, let's open up with that. Let's get that real quick. Let me share my screen. All right, so let's start with this real quick. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter. And we'll start at verse 22. We always bring this out because these things that are coming to pass via prophecy must happen in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established, in order for righteousness to be sown in the earth. All right. So this is 2nd Esdras 4:22, and it reads, it says, then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, let me have understanding. For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen. And for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to none effect. Right. This is what Esdras was inquiring of the Lord. You know, when are we going to come from under the subjection of the heathen nations, and when are the the inheritance and the promises were going to come into effect? You know, Israel being put back in power. You know, us partaking in the blessings that were promised to us. You know, it says, verse 24, it says, and we pass out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. Verse 25, what will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasteth fast to pass away. We can see that. All right. This current world, this current dominion is hastening fast to pass away. All right. Everything is leading to this world's utter destruction. You know, verse 27, it says, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come, for the world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Yeah, this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities, sin, all right, darkness, wickedness. You know, this world is defiled, man. Okay, the point. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Verse 29, the point, it says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then can it not come that is sown with good? And that's the point. And this is what we're waiting on. This is what we're hoping for, man. We're waiting on the destruction, man. This is what we're looking for. All right. Babylon being destroyed and removed from off the face of the earth. So in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established, all right, for righteousness to be fully, sown into the planet Earth, right? Reading this again, 2 Ezra 4:29, it says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where evil is sown pass not away, and where is that? That's America, Babylon. If the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established, for the good to be sown in the earth, America has to be done away with, man. All right. And this is the time that we're vastly approaching. You see? So let's get into it, man. I pray that this lesson is edifying. All right. No peace in the Middle East, only destruction.
President Biden says there is no possibility of a ceasefire. And former President Trump has made it clear that he will also serve the Zionist state of Israel.
Indonesia appeal to the U.S. to do more to stop the atrocities in Gaza. Ceasefire is a must for the sake of humanity. Once again, thank you for your invitation, President Biden. Thank you.
Thank you. And as we met outside as you got out of your automobile, we had a very important discussion on climate. The president said, I'm cold. What are you talking to the Gaza ceasefire? No possibility.
This is one issue that the entire U.S. government seems to be in agreement on. But America and its NATO vassals stand alone with Israel. Millions of people all over the world are taking to the streets in one of the most unified, peaceful protests ever. Most people are seeing this as it is, an illegal occupation sliding quickly towards genocide.
Let's add on to that real quick. All right. Riots and protests, all these things that are happening around the world. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, and it reads, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which we made. All right. So we see these signs coming to pass daily. And we know that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is beginning to visit the world which he made. All right. Yahweh Shai is on his way back. All right. Destruction and salvation is near. It says, verse 3, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, all right, these protests, these riots that are going on worldwide right now. All right. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right, so the end is being made plain. Okay, the end is manifest. Okay, it says verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils. All of these things that are coming, the destruction, World War III, the famines, the plagues, the pestilence, Jacob's trouble. All right, these are the said pearls that are getting ready to happen. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning, which is the elect. All right, so let's go back.
But America and its NATO vassals stand alone with Israel. Millions of people all over the world are taking to the streets in one of the most unified, peaceful protests ever. Most people are seeing this as it is, an illegal occupation sliding quickly towards genocide, which is good because the world is now on the brink of a holy war, and the only way to stop it is a mass awakening. The U.S. is firing airstrikes in eastern Syria, where the Iraqi militia have been launching drone attacks at U.S. military bases. the Islamic resistance in Lebanon, Hezbollah, has launched several operations targeting Israeli forces who have been bombing several towns in southern Lebanon. A Black Hawk helicopter crash, 5 U.S. Special Forces off the coast of Cyprus, and the Turks are claiming it was shot down. China and Iran are now working together against Israel, and the CCP begins military drills in the South China Sea. To the majority of the world, it is clear that the Zionist state of Israel is the antagonist. As Celia Farber points out, even some of Israel's staunchest supporters are now speaking out against their war crimes.
Right. So like we've been going to in the past few weeks now, all right, the world is beginning to realize that the 48ers, the small hats, are the problem. Right. And this is why these articles have been coming out for the past weeks. All right. Pro-Palestinian protesters worldwide call for the 48ers elimination. All right. And then the other one we pulled out here from the Wall Street Journal, the global war with the small hats, the 48ers. Okay. It says, and there was another one that came from the European Union that said that anti-you-know-what has surged at unforeseen levels. You know, it says, as you see here, anti-you-know-what surges even in the West, which shows why Israel exists. So the point is that as it tells us in Job 18 that he would be chased out of the world, all right, that the heavens would reveal him, you know. So let's go back. All right, because we're at the end of this thing, man.
In the South China Sea. To the majority of the world, it is clear that the Zionist state of Israel is the antagonist. As Celia Farber points out, even some of Israel's staunchest supporters are now speaking out against their war crimes. The Quran calls on Israel to stop women and children. And Anthony Blinken says that far too many Palestinians have been. Humanity is more awake than ever. And we are watching as Israel few dozen militants and over 10,000 civilians while calling it a war. The majority of the world is demanding an end to this slaughter, but Netanyahu says that Israel will defy the world if needed to defeat Hamas, an organization created by Israel. The region is being surrounded by warships as thousands of Americans march in DC to demand more mass of Palestinians.
The calls for a ceasefire are outrageous.
Yeah, no possibility of a ceasefire. No ceasefire, meaning no peace. All right. This thing is going to escalate to World War III as we know it. Okay. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, it says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, so cometh as a thief in the night." And we see exactly how this thing is being set up. Okay. The day of the Lord, the day of Yahweh Shema Shai is going to come as a thief in the night. And the Lord has warned us through multiple accounts throughout the scriptures that he's coming back as a thief, man. All right. Which the majority of the planet Earth is completely unaware of the return of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world English calls Jesus Christ. All right. We know perfectly that day is before us. By what? The signs and tokens, as we read in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, that the Most High is beginning to visit the world which he made. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3 says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And these people are not going to escape the destruction via World War III, man. Okay, they were chanting no ceasefire. All right, Joe Biden said that fire would not cease what's going on in the Middle East right now, in the land of Israel, Gaza, and all of that madness is not going to stop. All right. This is the will of Yahweh Shem Awashai. World War III will come to pass. All right. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. These people are not going to escape the wrath and judgment of Yahweh Shem Awashai, man. Verse 4 says, but you brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Right. We're not in darkness because we understand the signs and the tokens that the Lord has given us, man. We're fully aware of what's happening globally right now. And we're linking it with the scriptures. This is how you measure the time diligently within itself. All right. The scriptures are regarded as what? The rod, the measuring stick, man. So we see perfectly how this thing is shaping out. So we're not in darkness that day shall overtake you as a thief, but the majority of the world is. All right. They're going to be caught in the crossfire, so to speak. Right. Verse 5, it says, you are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. The point. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, meaning the majority of the world are in slumber, man. These people are asleep. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And we were commanded to occupy till the Lord comes back. We're watching every single thing that's going on globally. Okay, all the calamities that are going on around the world. The Lord said the sorrows will be implemented on every side. Okay, we understand that World War III, all right, is one of the last main prophecies to come to pass before it's all said and done. All right, we see this the MOTB on the horizon. We see the beast system being pushed and implemented. All right, the orchestrated famines. Okay, more biological warfare. This nigga Esau is pushing another disease. Everything is happening, man. We're watching it and being sober. It says, for they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. And these people are drunken with the ways of the world, the philosophies of the world, the cares of this life. Right? Verse 8, it says, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation, because we're hoping that we're worthy to be preserved and make it out of this destruction. It says, verse 9, for Yahweh Shem Awashai have not appointed us to wrath. All right, so the Lord has appointed 2/3 to what? The wrath and judgment. But it says, for Yahweh Shem Awashai have not appointed us to wrath. All right, we're hoping to be the ones to be preserved, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And that's the end goal, man, to make it out of here, man, to be preserved from the coming destruction and judgments, man. You see? So the point is that no peace is coming. Ezekiel 7:25. Okay. Ezekiel 7:25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. No peace whatsoever. No ceasefire. The wars that are going on in the Middle East are going to continue to escalate. All right. Isaiah 48:22. And it reads straight to the point. It says, there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Awashai, unto the wicked. Okay. Hey, 2024 is going to be a hell of a year, man. Guarantee that. All right. These things are escalating as we enter into the latter half or the latter end of 2023. So we know that the next year is coming in the next couple of months is going to get crazy, man. All right. So anyway, let's go back to the video. All right. This is all news and prophecy.
This is the holy war that sane people have feared and zealots have prayed for. They want you to pick a side against each other, but we can always choose peace The word Israel was first presented in the Bible as a name given to Jacob after he fought an angel. Its meaning was a man who has struggled with God, and is commonly translated as God prevails or man seeing God. Many have argued that the word Israel in the Bible does not refer to a place, but rather a believer or a group of believers in God. Others believe the land known as Palestine was where the biblical state of Israel once stood. And in the 17th century, Sabbatai Zevi was the first Jew to try and resettle there. Sabbatai Zevi claimed to be the Messiah and amassed a large Jewish following that engaged in ritual and the defilement of God's law. In the spring of 1666, they were planning to be the first Jewish settlement in Palestine. But things changed when Sabbatai was arrested and thrown in jail. His radical movement continued with the Frankism movement, and Zionism became more political. Although they claimed to be secular, the Zionists flooded the temples with prayers for a return to Zion and a restoration of the Jewish state. But the rabbis rejected them. In 1885, the rabbis wrote that we consider ourselves no longer a nation, but a religious community, and we therefore expect neither a return to Palestine nor a sacrificial worship under the sons of Aaron, nor the restoration of any of the laws. While the rabbis offered
Yeah, because this is the wicked. They're not the people of the Lord. Right. In fact, let me make a point on that. This is why that was said, because they know they're not the people of Yahweh Shema Shai. This is Job 21 in verse 14, and it reads, it says, therefore they say unto Yahweh Shema Shai, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. Exactly. As they said, they had nothing to do with the laws, things of that nature. Right. It says, verse 15, it says, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto them? All right. So these Edomites know that they're not the true sons of the true living power, Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. It says, verse 16, it says, lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. So Yahweh Shema Shai has nothing to do with these damn devils, man. Let's go back.
prayers for a return to Zion and a restoration of the Jewish state, but the rabbis rejected them. In 1885, the rabbis wrote that we consider ourselves no longer a nation, but a religious community, and we therefore expect neither a return to Palestine nor a sacrificial worship under the sons of Aaron, nor the restoration of any of the laws. While the rabbis offered no support, the Zionists garnered the support of the British Crown as early as 1841, and they were funded by the Rothschild banking dynasty, otherwise known as the Bank of England. So the Crown was likely involved from the start. In 1897, the political intent to recreate the state of Israel was made official to the public. And in 1917, under the British government's Balfour Declaration, British troops seized control of Palestine on behalf of the Zionists. In 1922, the League of Nations adopted the declaration. And in 1947, the United Nations granted parts of Palestine to the Zionists. Between 1947 and 1949, Palestinians were made refugees and kicked out of the homes of their ancestors. Hundreds of villages were destroyed, and thousands of Palestinians were in a series of massacres known as the Nakba. The Zionists, Palestinian Muslims, Christians, and Jews. The Zionists claimed to be non-religious, but they were mostly Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazi can be traced back to the Khazars.
All right. So, and this is heavy because this is why, from the time of them, taking hold of that land has been nothing but wars. And this is really what all of this is stems back to, that Balfour Declaration. Let's get that in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 36. We'll start at the top here. This is Ezekiel 36 in verse 1. And it reads, it says, also thou, son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Verse 2. Ezekiel 36, verse 2, it says, thus saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Shema Shai, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. And so how did our enemies, get the land of Israel? And this happened as you just heard here through the Balfour Declaration, okay, which was established in 1917, okay, and then up to 1948 is when you had the creation of the so-called 1948 state, the small hat state, okay. So this is how it happened, okay. Ezekiel 36:2 again, it says, "Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession." Right? It says, verse 3, "Therefore prophesy and say, the Lord power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, in our infamy of the people." And this is what happened to us. All right, the true Israelites, we were scattered and dispersed out of the land. Going back to the curses, we became a possession unto the residue of the heathen. We were scattered amongst the nations. We were put captive into all the nations under the heathen. It says in the infamy of the people, we're hated, disregarded. It says, verse 4, it says, "Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about." And this is why you have you have those wars going on between the frauds and the so-called Palestinians, because the land of Israel became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. You got the frauds up in there, the so-called Palestinians. You got Hamites and Elamites, Ishmaelites. It says, verse 5, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all of Idumea," okay, which is Greek for Esau, Edom. Okay, Idumea is in possession of the Holy Land. All right, the Edomites. It says, "Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all of Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession." You see that? So who has the land? Idumea, the Edomites. Okay, the frauds, the fakes. Okay, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. So ultimately, this is how, all right, these devils were able to get the land of Israel, all right, through the Balfour Declaration, 1917, and ultimately in 1948, you had the full establishment of the Ish state of Israel. All right, the official letter that was written to Lionel Walter Rothschild between the British government. And this is how they got the land. See that? Which wasn't of divine origin. See? So anyway, let's go back to the video. All right, just want to hit these points. Let's go back to where he was explaining it there. Salakia, here we go.
And they were funded by the Rothschild banking dynasty, otherwise known as the Bank of England. So the crown was likely involved from the start. In 1897, the political intent to recreate the state of Israel was made official to the public. And in 1917, under the British government's Balfour Declaration, British troops seized control of Palestine on behalf of the Zionists. In 1922, the League of Nations adopted the declaration. And in 1947, the United Nations granted parts of Palestine to the Zionists. Between 1947 and 1949, Palestinians were made refugees and kicked out of the homes of their ancestors. Hundreds of villages were destroyed, and thousands of Palestinians were in a series of massacres known as the Nakba. The Zionists, Palestinian Muslims, Christians, and Jews. The Zionists claimed to be non-religious, but they were mostly Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazi can be traced back to the Khazars.
Right, and I want to make another point, showing you that the true people are not in the land. Let's play this clip again too, just to remind everybody. All right, because all the information is out there, man.
Most Christian Zionists in America have no idea that the people living in Israel are not native, when I say the area of Palestine, Israel, whatever you want, they were not born there. They immigrated from Europe.
Ashkenazi Jews.
They were Ashkenazi Jews who came in from Europe and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle shooting Arabs, and they killed Muslims and Christians. They slaughtered them, massacres, women, children, horrible massacres. That is the history of Israel, 1948. And I dare any Christian Zionist to prove me wrong, because I can show you the historical records of the massacres that took place in 48. They're horrible, absolutely horrible, the people who were killed. And because of that, the Arabs developed a fury, an anger that European Ashkenazis just flooded in to Palestine and violently pushed them off their land.
And I thought I'd go and have a look at Jewish literature to see what they say about their origins. And here we see three quotes. And the first is in the 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, which says that Esau, Edom, is modern Jewry. And of course, this is contrary to what most people believe today, which is that the Jews are God's chosen people because they are the Israelites. But here, the Jewish literature is saying that they are actually from the tribe of Edom, not the tribe of Israel. In the Jewish Almanac in 1980, it says, strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or Hebrew. And that's because, truthfully speaking, they're not the Hebrews or Israelites, they are really the Edomites. And also, we see here in the Encyclopedia Judaica that Edomite Jews began to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860.
Man, it's all on the books, man. And this is why destruction is coming. All right, real quick, before I go back to the other video, just wanted to add that in there. All right, this is Isaiah 1:7. It says, your country is desolate. What is it talking about? The Holy Land, the land of Israel. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Right, we got the heathen over there. All right. Strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. Right. So the land of Israel, the Holy Land, is being overthrown by the heathen nations, man, that occupy that land currently, starting with these Edomites. All right. The Idumeans, as we read. Let me get this too. All right. Isaiah 63 and verse this is Isaiah 63 and verse 17, and it reads, it says, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways and harden our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thy inheritance. Exactly. All right. There's more than just the tribe of Judah. All right. And the tribe of Levi. Right. What about the remainder of the tribes, man? Where are they at? Okay. It says the people of thy holiness have possessed it, but a little while, right? Because you going back to the time of King David and King Solomon, 40 years of both of them ruling. We only really possessed, we were only able to enjoy, that land just for a little while, a little season. The people of thy holiness possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary, going back to the time of the Babylonians, the time of the Romans, 70 AD. It says, verse 19, we are thine, thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name, right? Because these people claiming to be the chosen people of the Lord, they're not the people, man. Thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name, all right? You are the Edomites. You're not Jacob. You're not Israel, man. Okay? So anyway, let's go back. Now you understand why everything is leading to destruction, man. No peace in the Middle East. Only destruction, man. Okay? Everything is being revealed about these people. Okay? As I said before, the exposure of Esau, Amalek, is leading to World War III.
Christians and Jews. The Zionists claimed to be non-religious, but they were mostly Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazi can be traced back to the Khazars, the progenitors of Rabbinic Judaism. The Khazar Khaganate was a major empire in what is now Ukraine, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and parts of Russia, Turkey, and Iran. It was ruled by the Khazars, but made up of several diverse nomadic tribes. In the year 740, the Khazars mass converted to Judaism. Synagogues and schools were built, and Rabbinic Judaism was born. The original Jerusalem Talmud was replaced by the recently codified Babylonian Talmud, which was based on Babylonian philosophy and became the mainstream thanks to the Khazars and the Zionists. Some Christians believe that this is the synagogue of Satan, written about in the Bible, which say they are Jews and are not. And many other Christians have become Zionists themselves. The Zionists have tremendous support from American megachurches and Christian evangelicals, many of whom believe that as the world becomes a fiery hell, they will be saved and brought to an eternal paradise. But in order for this to happen, the Temple of Solomon must be rebuilt, and 2/3 of the Jewish people must perish. According to the Bible, King Solomon's temple was constructed in 957 BC and destroyed in 586 BC, rebuilt again in 516 BC, and destroyed again in the year 70 AD. Many Christians and Jews believe that this temple must be rebuilt in order for their Messiah to come. But there is something in its way. Originally built near the end of the...
And I just want to speak on that, because remember, I want to say it was last year or maybe the year before, and I got the video here. Let me pull that up. They were trying to they were pushing the rebuilding of a physical third temple, all right, which pretty much is just a some more left hand witchcraft, a wicked sacrifice coming from the wicked. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Where is it at? I just want to replay that just to remind people. Yeah, it is right here. So Israel, the 4 red heifers, the third temple, the arrival of the anti-Messiah. I just want to play this clip because this is what they was doing about a year or so ago. All right, check this out.
All right, what in the world is going on here? What in the world is an interesting question? The world has just changed in ways that people are only now beginning to feel. The red heifers just arrived in Israel. They're still less than a year old. They have to be 2 years old in one day. But when they are 2 years old in one day, we can perform the red heifer ceremony, and that will allow us to begin the temple service in completeness. We don't need the temple to do that. We just need a small altar in the proper space on the Temple Mount. And when we begin the temple service, then it can become a house of prayer for all nations. And that's what we're all waiting for. I want to take your sacrifice up to you. You come to me. I want to be the one to take yours.
Right. So pretty much, they had like 600 so-called Levites. They were going to sacrifice, 4 red heifers, and this all contributed to them so-called rebuilding the third temple. All right, which this is just a big ass, wicked sacrifice that these devils are doing. Some left hand, sorcery, witchcraft. Real quick, let me get that. you know, because the third temple now is spiritual, all right, which is the rebuilding of the house of David, all right, starting with the elect. But I want to make this point here. This is Malachi, just going into that wicked sacrifice that they were putting up, these devils are putting up. So this is Malachi 1:14, and it reads, it says, but cursed be the deceiver, all right, going back to Cain, all right, Amalek, Esau now. Cursed be the deceiver, which having his flock of male, and voweth and sacrifice unto the Lord a corrupt thing. All right. And ultimately, you know, going back to the time of Cain, he sacrificed, you know, fruits of the field, you know, because they had the oral law back there. He knew what he was supposed to do. Right. But he sacrificed unto the Lord a corrupt thing. And it's the same thing that Esau is doing today. All right. The descendants of Cain, this is what they're doing today. That they're sacrificing unto Yahweh by Shema Shai, a corrupt thing. It says, for I am a great king, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. Right. Let me add this too. And this is why they, you know, that's why they call the Lord by the name of Hashem, which literally means in the Hebrew, the name. All right. The name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. But the point is going into that wicked sacrifice. Let me get a precept. All right. As we just saw, the 4 red heifers, and, you know, they talked about 600 Levites would be there and part of the ceremony. It was just total madness. Right. But this is what's going on. This is Proverbs 15:8. It says, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. So everything that these devils was doing back then, this is all an abomination, man. All right, because ultimately Yahweh Shema Shai is not dealing with these damn devils, man. All right, and they're sacrificing a corrupt thing. It says, Proverbs 15:8, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. But the prayer of the upright is his delight. All right. Because right now the sacrifice is coming through the elect now by what? By the pushing of this word. You see what I'm saying? Pushing this truth, pushing the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, making our bodies a living sacrifice. Right. That's what's going on right now. Okay. It wouldn't be by the way of a physical temple. All right. Because the men of Yahweh Shema Shai, the elect, the house of David, they represent that third temple in the spirit. All right. It says, verse 9, it says, the way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Exactly. Let me get one more. All right. 1 Corinthians 10:20, right? Okay, so this is 1 Corinthians 10:20, and it reads, it says, but I say the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, the heathen, they sacrifice to devils. Exactly. So this is all a sacrifice to demons, to Satan, man. All this shit that they had going on about a year or so ago. All right. This is just nothing but a wicked left hand sacrifice, man. So it says, but I say the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, not to the Most High. See? And I would not say that you should have fellowship with devils is the point. So there you go. All right. All of this was just madness. Right. So let's go back. Finish it out.
According to the Bible, King Solomon's temple was constructed in 957 BC and destroyed in 586 BC, rebuilt again in 516 BC, and destroyed again in the year 70 AD. Many Christians and Jews believe that this temple must be rebuilt in order for their Messiah to come. But there is something in its way. Originally built near the end of the 7th century, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is considered one of the 3 holiest sites in Islam. Islam teaches that this is where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven. The Temple Mount has been occupied by Israel ever since the Six-Day War of 1967, and now it looks like they are ready to complete their mission. This is the holy war that sane people have feared and zealots have prayed for. They want you to pick a side and each other. but we can always choose peace and learn to love our neighbors. The origin of
So there you go. So as he was talking about, this whole concept of peace is not happening, man. All right, there is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. All right, when they call for peace and safety, sudden destruction is going to fall upon them, man. So that's pretty much the point. You know, I'm not going to play the rest of this. He starts going off into some other shit, you know. But I thought this first, 8 minutes of this clip was pretty good to, bring out in this show, man. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. No peace in the Middle East, only destruction. All right. Once again, Amalek, the 48er. All right. The small hat is back. His back is against the wall. All right. War is being waged against him, as it tells us in Obadiah. Let's get that. This is Obadiah 1 and this is Obadiah 1:1, and it reads, Edom will be humbled. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shema Shai, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. All right, all these nations are assembling themselves against Esau, Edom. All right, against America and Israel right now, As we saw earlier in the clip, it said that Russia and China are pretty much against Israel. Okay, so you already know where that's headed to. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Going back to Amalek, you small hats, man. You are greatly despised. Okay, you are greatly hated. Okay, prophecy is speaking. This is why these things are happening. All right, linking it all up with the scriptures. It says, verse 3, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's been the mindset for Esau since forever, that he was never going to fall. He was never going to be brought down from power. It said that who dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, proving that these are the Edomites. All right, crag, cliff, rock. All right, jumping down. Okay. Unless they changed it. Hold on. In the clefts of the rock. Bear with me. They might have changed it. Yeah, I think they changed the definition. It went into the habitation of the Edomites. Oh, here we go. In the lexicon. Here we go. It says Salah, Salah, Petra, the chief city of the Edomites. Okay. It's speaking about you Edomites, so-called white people, man. You 48ers, you small hats included. The chief city of the Edomites, situated between the Dead Sea and the Atlantic Gulf, in a valley surrounded with lofty rocks, so that a very great part of the abodes were excavated in the rock, Mount Seir. When you go back and look at the images, this is them. It says, verse 4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema. So pretty much, Esau is going down, man. This is it, So I'll leave it right there. That's pretty much the lesson. I just wanted to bring out some of this news and prophecy here concerning the Middle East and dealing with the small hatters. All right, it's a done deal, man. So I pray this quick lesson was edifying. Okay. I'm gonna close it out, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. All right, shalom.